welcome back to another half hour of Daybreak here at TV 47, WOIL, and the Alabama Cable Network across the state of Alabama on Charter Cable. ALS, Raising Awareness and Raising Cane, sponsored by Coosa Valley Hospice, and that's going to be an educational symposium coming up Monday. Joining us is Randy Kane this morning, and Randy is well aware of ALS with his wife, Christy. And also joining us this morning is Penny Swearingen. She is an RN and case manager with Coosa Valley Hospice. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Jimmy.
Thanks for being here this morning. And Randy, still a number of people don't know about ALS, and you really didn't know that much about it either until it hit home.
Absolutely, and that's why we want to promote this project here and bring all the experts in Monday. We've got some guest speakers that are very knowledgeable about this, and they travel the state of Alabama doing programs like we're going to do Monday with the symposium in connection with the hospital and hospice and some other medical caregivers. We just want to try to get the word out to the community because there's so many caregivers that are faced with these kind of situations, and they're like, was like me. What is this and what do I do? Who do I go to? Who can I talk to about this?
Now, Penny, when y'all were first cued in on this about ALS, and you were involved with the case with Christy.
Yes, we definitely were. We also work. I work with Coosa Valley Hospice, and when Randy and Christy felt it was time that they had exhausted their, medical advances and things, that they were ready for more quality of life. And so we got involved at Coosa Valley Hospice, and we just, tried to learn about the actual disease because it's different. It's different than other cases that we had before. But we got in there, and I hope we made a difference with Christy and with Randy Caroline and the family.
Randy, this ALS, it's a deadly disease.
Yes, it is. And when you hear ALS, for me, the first thing I thought of was a football player with a head injury. But that's not always the case. There's over 400 cases in the state of Alabama, well over 15 or so thousand people in the country that have been affected from this, and it's from a lot of different reasons. It's not just a football head injury. It's a neurological problem that happens to in your brain, and it goes from there, and you just don't know what might trigger, what might happen. And for us, it was from Christy, a surgery in 2014, and then some things started changing, and we still for months did not have a clue what it is, and you can't fix what you don't know is the problem. So after a series of 4 or 5 months of tests, from just a regular test all the way to UAB and the medical experts, neurologists, is how long it took to figure out what this is.
And Randy, that had the regression had to be frustrating and not knowing.
It's scary and not knowing. What I do every day is I can't fix a work-related problem if I can't define what it is and what the root cause is. So you've got to do a lot of investigating and testing. So that's what we were doing, and you get frustrated because you don't know what to do. Even the medical folks, before we got to the specialist and neurologist at UAB, we're all trying to figure this out. And ALS was the last thing in my mind of what this was going to be. And so from there, leading into what Penny was saying, how we had to get hospice involved, those that know me, I'm going to do everything I possibly can. But when I had reached a point of in the morning, I don't know what to do. I don't know who to call. And so I started learning more about hospice and other caregivers and things of that nature. So I started engaging people. So that's the purpose of this project, is engaging the community, because somebody else out there is going to be affected by this. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So how do we educate the community and other caregivers without pulling us together for this symposium and bring experts in that do this every day, that live it and know it and experience all kinds of issues with this. So that's why we want the community involved.
Penny Swearingen with us this morning. She's a case manager and RN for Coosa Valley Hospice. And what's going to be happening Monday, Penny?
Well, like Randy said, we're nurses. And with hospice, we deal with end of life issues. But ALS was different. The treatment's different.
Was it kind of new to you guys too?
It definitely was. I was sharing with Randy that we had talked about the ice bucket challenge and how that was for ALS, and it kind of just went over my head. I was all about it, but I didn't really know what it was, and until Christy was diagnosed with it, we all had to learn as a hospice, and we did learn a lot. We learned a lot through information through the doctors and staff and contacts there. But it's like Randy said, it's not a matter of if, it's when we're going to have it again. So Monday, we are going to have Randy Caroline Kane and Alexis Phillips. They are national FBLA winners, and they did a presentation on ALS. So they're going to...
Have you seen that?
I have not. I'm looking forward to it. They're going to speak with us. And then Janet Thorne, who works with the Tanner Foundation and the Alabama ALS, she's going to do ALS 101 for us and kind of give us the basics about what it is. We're going to have a brown bag lunch, so we'd love for everybody to join us, and we'll provide the lunch. And then Alicia Rafalski is with the ALS Association in Alabama. She's going to talk to us about some resources that are available. And this is just very important information because it's devastating to get this diagnosis, and then you feel, as a nurse, I wanted to help, but I didn't know, it was a lot out of the realm of what I normally do. And I really want to be prepared next time if it happens to not just someone I love, but a patient that I need to care for. I want to be prepared the best I can be to.
That's going to be 11 a.m. until 1:30, and the lunch provided as well. Now, Penny, not only is it for nurses, it's for a lot of folks that need to know more about this.
It really is. This disease affects not only just the medical staff, but for families. For caregivers, for if you're a CNA, and would be interested in having this information, it would be very valuable. Chaplains, social workers, friends, if you just would be interested in maybe volunteering. I know at the hospice we'd love to have volunteers, and if we had some people that were interested in just caring for that type of disease, that would be very valuable. So,
Randy Kane with us this morning, along with Penny Swearingen, Raising Awareness and Raising Cane, the educational symposium on ALS. That's going to be Monday over at the Sylacauga City Board of Education in the auditorium there, and so everybody's invited to attend. But Randy, they do need to call for a reservation and make sure who's going to be coming.
Yes, you do need to call the number that's on the flyer. And if you
that's
got
256-401-4070, 256-401-4070, and Randy, all of us go through stuff in life, but when you go through stuff you know nothing about, man, that's got to be mind-boggling.
Well, you hit your knees and you start praying. You got your faith and just the community, the church, the Sunday school classes that reached out to us. I tell you, I have been humbled. I know there's a mean world out here, and I know that, and I get it. But I tell you what, this community, even though we've been hit with a lot of industrial downclines and all that, but this community is full of wonderful, wonderful people, caring, loving people that reached out to us, that people I didn't even know that just come out, and it just makes you hit your knees and just thank God that there's still such wonderful people out there. But I tell you, I want to mention these before we run out of time. The support group that we went to as we were learning about this when we were going to Birmingham and meeting the people that were dealing with the same disease, I didn't meet any one person that this ALS was the same. Everyone was different. But what struck me by the list of names here, and I won't read them all off to you, but there's a group of angels that's in the state of Alabama that they still go to these support groups. They've already lost their spouse, but they continue to serve. They continue to come out and help. I learned so much from these people here that's on this list that are coming. Some of them are coming Monday to support us. They have been through so much, and they've learned so much, and they've shared so much with me that I never even thought about doing. And then that's the purpose of this, is to bring those people together along with the medical experts, with our medical facilities here and our medical folks around this community, is to share and network and learn, and more people get involved. And I'll tell you one little story here, because when I realized this is not a normal sickness, and I had people come to our house that wanted to caregive. They wanted to come and sit. ALS is not a come and sit project. It's not. ALS is more of an issue than I can get into. But if you are a caregiver and you are sitting with an elderly person or a sick person or any of that, this program Monday, you'll be able to learn so much to carry away from this that you don't know how it's going to affect that patient or that person that you're sitting with or that family member. I watched Penny and their staff and the caregivers that came. I know they get in difficult situations and they have to handle a lot of different things. But as I watched Penny and Keisha and Carolyn and the people that came, I'm like, I didn't know y'all had to do that. I didn't realize the in-depth of the care that these people do. And that's what we want to continue to share with the community.
I saw a story, a comment that Randy made, and Penny, he was referring to you, said that one night you were called out and you actually just slept on the floor.
Yeah.
You know, that's a caring group of hospice, and we've got a number of great hospice organizations in our area and across the state of Alabama. But you have to be a special person to be called into this field.
Yeah, you really do. And when I went into nursing, I never thought that I would, want to be in this field. But I've always asked for God's direction throughout my career, and I was led to this one. And at times I've wondered if I wasn't put in this position to care for Christy. Christy's was a dear friend of mine. Our girls were in the church nursery together. So.
Is it more difficult when you really know someone and you're personal friends with them to see them going through stuff like this?
It is. It's hard, but, it was, just kind of felt like it was the last thing I could do for Christy as my friend. And I knew that that nobody would care for her the way I would, because I loved her so. And we have some awesome staff in our hospice. We've got a great team. I feel very blessed to be a part of it. So, any of them would have done a great job. And we have a lot of wonderful nurses, but just like I said, I loved Christy and still do. And that's why I'm so excited to be a part of this.
Yeah, it's coming up Monday, the educational symposium on ALS, sponsored by Coosa Valley Hospice, and it's 11 till 1:30 over at Sylacauga City Board of Education auditorium right here on Broadway and 1st Street. And you make a reservation by calling 256-401-4070. A couple more minutes with these guys this morning. And Randy, I guess when you first started looking at this, what can I do to help other people in the situation I've been through?
Well, you're right. And as I watch the people on this list here that are from Jefferson County and all around the state, and as I learn from them, what can I do to continue the process of training and people learning from us? Because I was learning so much from them. Somebody else is going to learn from this and can help someone else. You've got to continue the sharing and the education and the knowledge and engaging the community and friends and family, because I didn't get here just because one day I woke up and said, well, I'm going to do ALS program today. No, I learned from the experience. I learned from these people right here. And what can I do with this? Can I just sit around and don't do anything, don't say anything, don't try to carry it to the next level? Because somebody else is going to be affected. And somebody that's going to show up Monday is going to be faced with this, and they're going to go, I remember I met these people. What do? I can call so-and-so and get the help. I want to share something here that on the night that Penny came, I remember that because those moments when you've reached a point to where I don't know what else to do except call 911, call an ambulance. But I said, no, I'm going to call hospice. So when I called and Penny answered, and I explained, I think it's like 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. And I'm like, I hate to call anybody on a weekend, but I had reached a point of my head was about to explode. I have done everything I know to do here except call 911. When I called Penny and she came, and after she went through checking things and vitals and making sure everything was okay, and when she decided she was going to stay, and she slept right there. She's special. Hospice is special. Coosa Valley is special. There's some wonderful, special people here in this community. And they reached out to us. Now we're reaching out to you. We want you to know about this. And this program Monday is going to share this with you. I can't thank them enough. I know you hear a lot of bad stuff. Well, the hospital didn't do this and the emergency room didn't do that. Well, guess what? They do a whole lot of great things. And I want you to know them. I want you to meet them. I want you to learn from this. And the experts we're coming in that deal with this statewide, I think that you'll carry a lot away from this. And yes, please call and get a reservation. They're going to serve lunch. We'll make sure we've got enough food for everybody. But I can't thank Vanessa Green enough. Vanessa is like the boss, right?
Vanessa is our director, and she does a wonderful job, and she's got a great staff that helps us. One other thing I did want to mention, that as a nurse and a social worker, that you will be able to receive, I think it's 2 continuing education hours. And also that's, it's totally free. It's no cost to the program. So,
and you don't have to be part of Coosa Valley Hospice.
No, that's right. I know at this time as an RN, we're getting ready to have our continuing education classes. So this would be a great opportunity to get a couple of them and have some great information.
All right, thank you.
Let me tag on to that because there is another one, what you just mentioned about credit hours, that's going to be held in Birmingham September the 20th. They're going to talk about that Monday. And this is dementia, Alzheimer's, ALS, a lot of different illnesses that are out there that nurses can do what you just said about the credit hours that they're going to talk about Monday. Janet Thorne, the lady that's going to be the guest speaker, she has more information about that. So those that are in the medical field, nursing, you might want to contact Penny and see about this.
Okay. Thank you both for being here this morning. Make a reservation for the symposium at Sylacauga City Board of Education from 11 to 1:30 on Monday. You can call 256-401-4070. Penny Swearingen, the case manager and RN with Coosa Valley Hospice, and Randy Kane representing the program with ALS. And we thank you both for being here this morning. See you on Monday.
Thank you, Jimmy Dale.
Thank you for having us.
More on Daybreak coming up right after this.